So there are 5 areas in the Greater Toronto Area right now with the highest search activity. And honestly, this list is going to surprise you. Because here's the thing. There are a ton of people quietly watching the market right now, just like you, just like the person watching this video before you, and everyone's trying to figure out the same things. Where are the actual deals? Can I maybe get into a neighborhood I was priced out a few years ago? Is now the time to trade up into something bigger? Or if you're a homeowner, should I sell before things get worse? Totally normal questions. And they're exactly why this data matters. So here's what happened. One of the GTA's most visited property search websites released the list of the 5 communities with the most traffic, buyer traffic. So the most saved listings, the most eyeballs, the most search activity. And what I'm going to do in this video is simple. We're going to go through the list from 5 all the way to number 1, and I'm going to give you why these areas are suddenly getting so much attention, what type of buyers are looking there, and I'm going to show you what you can actually get in certain price ranges. And just remember, high search activity doesn't automatically mean prices are going up or people are buying. It just means that these areas are on people's radar. And so we're going to check it out. So kicking things off with number 5 is Aurora. And honestly, this one makes a lot of sense when you think about it. A lot of people still want out of the noise and intensity of the core, but people don't want to be so far away from it either. So Aurora is a pretty good sweet middle ground. And so you've got families looking for stability. You've got good schools, neighborhoods where everything feels a little bit calmer. And you're seeing a lot more value compared to somewhere like Richmond Hill or even Vaughan. Let's take a look at Aurora right now, what you can get. And so this is one home. It is a townhome. You can see that you've got a, looks like quartz counters, a quartz waterfall element island there. Nice place. And so this is what you can get in Aurora. Now it's listed at $829, but they price dropped it. They're originally there at $900,000. Probably get it much cheaper than that. Probably get it cheaper than, it's definitely going to sell below 8. But you can see that they put money into it. A lot of flashy little features, which is smart by the seller. And so from the inside, because they hid the exterior, now we can kind of see why they hid the exterior. I'm looking at the exterior and what it's made of. It does kind of look like it's probably a late 1970s, early 1980s build. I'm a little bit worried about the windows. They look like they're the one thing that wasn't touched up. And so those likely need to get factored into negotiation as well. So that's how you would probably get the price dropped. Then there was this condo that you can also get in Aurora for $530, likely get it for much less. Seem to have some interesting pots all over the roof. But you get inside, looks to be virtually staged. Yeah. And then we're back on the pots in the roof. Interesting to have it be the 6th photo. So we're inside, a little bit outdated, but decent space. So whoever gets this is probably getting it for under $500,000 easy. Condos are moving extremely slow, but that is what you can get in Aurora. So right now, this is the lower end of the market. You can get lower than this, but I want to show you kind of what you can get for a starter condo and what you can get for a home. And once again, this is there's some kind of obsession going on here with the pots on the roof. Very interesting. Almost looks like a grow up going on here. But that is our little look into Aurora. Number 4 most searched was Etobicoke. And this one, it absolutely deserves to be there because if you spent any time in the West End lately, you know exactly what's going on. It's become the spot for 2 completely different groups of people. So you've got the downsizers who don't want to go too far from the city. And then you've got the first-time buyers or young families who want something close to the core, but not at downtown prices. And so Etobicoke checks both those boxes. You still get that city feel. You've got the transit, the airport, Humber Bay, great pockets like Mimico. But you've also got these established neighborhoods where people have lived for decades. And so it's the kind of place right now where a buyer can look like at a detached home and think, oh, okay, this might actually be affordable. And on the flip side, a condo buyer, they can find a terrific deal right now on a condo with like a lake view without spending too much money. Now let's take a look at Etobicoke. So I'm going to show you kind of like entry-level Etobicoke listings. We're just randomly browsing here. So it looks like we've got an extremely artistic seller. I can already see that by the guitar. I can see that by the wind beams. Very artistic. You can even see as you're going up the stairs, the handles are actually pieces of wood. Kind of unique and cool. Retro looking kitchen. Need some updating there. They updated some things. Okay, that's in the back. I mean, nice starter place. I think we're going to have a really cool upstairs. Okay, it's going to be tough for people that are of reasonable height going up here. But this is a great starter home. You've got a lot of stuff going back in the backyard. Nice little cool place, not far away from the city. That's why people love Etobicoke. We've got another one here. Let's go inside. So it's a nice 2-story. We're listed at $989. Like I said, a lot of these homes, you're not looking at the list price anymore. You're able to get the price down quite a bit. But this is nice, very nice kitchen. You know, what's funny about basements like this, a lot of people get turned off by them, but I actually love them because my grandparents back in the day, they had a basement just like this. And so it makes me feel like at home, you know, watching a hockey game on a Saturday night in a basement like this on an old couch. But then we get back to modern again, evidently here. So there's only one room that brings back the old memories. But like I said, in Etobicoke, you're by the water. You know, these homes a few years ago were going 1.2, 1.3. So a lot of value there in Etobicoke. Now we also have another property in Etobicoke. We are here at a property just under $1 million. And so this is like a perfect starter home. It's got everything that you're going to need. Dining room, kitchen right there. Sometimes people are going to get like a little bothered by the layout of the fridge here, and I get it. It is pretty obstructive, but at the same time too, when you're looking under $1 million, sometimes you got to, you know, settle on a few things. But you've got the gas stove there. Very nice bathroom. Rooms are good shape. So we've got an exposed basement ceiling. Really cool basement ensuite. You know, that looks pretty cool. So basement person living well. Nice backyard. Showing a few signs of neglect here on the door. Whenever I see like neglect with buyers when we're out on showings, you've always got to be a little worrisome because, you know, if someone lets something slide there, what else they let slide? And so typically when we're out looking at homes, I really like to see, you know, do they have a like workshop in the property? Do they maintain the property well? Because those are all things that when someone lists a property, they're going to hide what's really going on and any neglect. And so you've got to kind of look at it and try to find it. And so that is Etobicoke. Now, number 3 is Whitby. And this is classic GTA behavior. When things aren't affordable in the core, everyone starts looking east. And Whitby, you know, comes kind of like a go-to spot for families who want actual space, a yard, you know, a nice house that's got some character. And so because of commuting patterns shifting, hybrid work, flexible schedules, less everyday driving, buyers are saying, okay, maybe Whitby isn't too far anymore. So it's getting a ton of search activity because it's one of those like few places where people can picture the next chapter of their life, like kids, space, schools, while keeping things very affordable. Affordable perspective in perspective of like the greater Toronto area. Now we're in Whitby. Whitby is a great place for families, Durham especially. Get a lot of value for your money. And so we've got this property listed at just under 1.1. Really good shape inside. Like I said, it's going to sell under asking. This is not what it's going to sell for. Really nice kitchen. Kind of timeless with the gray. Gorgeous living room. Main floor laundry. Sometimes you kind of hope that the laundry would be upstairs in a lower room. Bedroom's great size. Looks like we've got walk-in closets and en-suites. Yeah, really nice home. And here we go. We've got the basement bar that most people would love to have, a little workshop, little office. This is great. And another. The other one would probably be the her. This one's probably the his. Yeah, really nice backyard. Huge lot. Look at that lot. And that's likely why they're holding out for that price, because that is a huge lot they're trying to sell here. Going on, let's check out a lower price, $750. You can still get lower than $750 in Whitby right now. But we've got looks like a starter property here. Looks like it's a semi-detached. So you've got all the basics, nothing really special. But it's good enough that you can just move in. That's kind of showing some signs of the age there by them not replacing that closet door. Nice back deck. You've got the corner spot, pretty cool. You've got a guy outside for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice property. Now we're also going to this one. This is $829 what you can get right now, but you're going to get this for much less. Nice flow between kitchen, living room. Kitchen's a little bit outdated. The light colors kind of hide it. But you just need to get the appliances changed and you should be good. Nice area. All right, so some things that are drawing my attention here is we are seeing some ceiling issues here. We've got some patch jobs. And so I'd be curious as to what is going on. And so if we were in the house, we'd want to take a look at that. Steep stairs going down the basement. Nice home though. I mean, look at that backyard. I mean, it would be great for a family with pets, with young kids. Looks like a good time. And you're going to have only local traffic because we're looking at a cul-de-sac here. So yeah, really nice. Let's take a look at another one, $789 in Whitby still. Really nice front window. The hardwood, you can tell it's got some damage on it. A lot of damage there. A little bit outdated kitchen. You'd have to put some money into it. Nice basement, the basics. So I'm starting to see some things where I might be a little bit concerned about, upkeep for the home. We've got one thing missing out of the ceiling there. We've seen this one. The vent is hanging down a little bit. Looks a little bit rough. And you might say, Carl, those are small things, but yes, but like this is after people have prepared their home to put it on the market. And so they're going to hide the big things, but the small things will maybe show you that, hey, maybe the upkeep wasn't as good as what we thought. Maybe the condition is not as good as what we thought, but you're always going to get a home inspection, but you got to watch for these things. And I think the biggest thing is when you're doing all this is you're always thinking, how am I going to be able to get the price down? How do we get this from $789 to $725? Now, number 2, no surprise, downtown Toronto. People are definitely circling back to the core right now. Rent has softened a bit. Prices have corrected. Some buildings have units sitting extremely long. And so suddenly the downtown buyers who felt like, hey, I'm completely priced out a few years ago are thinking, okay, is this a moment? And so downtown still has a high density of job opportunities. You've got the social life, you've got the transit, you've got the restaurants. All the reasons people wanted to live there before, none of that has changed. People are also being forced to go back into the office. But what has changed is the psychology of buyers. And so people are bargain hunting. They're kind of like scrolling condo listings like they're on Amazon. And so downtown has more deal-looking listings than it has in years. And so there's no surprise that this is the second highest searched property area. We are getting into the downtown Toronto area, and for good reason. Like it's the most compact, so there's going to be the most amount of transactions happening there. So there's going to be the most people looking to, and there's the most supplies. In this, though, I'm going to show you waterfront condos just today, and I'm going to show you. I love the waterfront area. I think it's one of the best, and this is what you can get for $885 right now. But like I said, that price is going to come down. It's not going to sell for that. But here we are. You're paying for the view, essentially. I actually used to live at 208 Queens Quay, which is just beside this building, same developer. And it was just an amazing view to see during the summer, but also during the winter. You'd be actually shocked how amazing it was seeing the snow, the ice, and all the things going on. Just an amazing place to be during the winter. Now, this is on the affordable end. This is 218 Queens Quay. So you've got this for under $500,000. You can likely get it for a lot lower. But like I said, this location was terrific. You'll tend to find a lot of Leafs players and Raptors players in these buildings. When I lived at 208 Queens Quay, I would always routinely see Austin Matthews and his parents in the elevators, and also dudes that were like 7 feet tall that had like ice bags on their knees, and you would know that they were players. So cool area to be. You'd always see like Leafs around. But in this unit, very nice. They have a little bit of unconventional layouts, which I like about the waterfront sometimes. Tight balcony, but you're getting that view. This is the view that people are paying for, and it doesn't get old, to be honest with you. And the number one most searched area in the entire GTA right now, according to House Sigma, was King's. And this one kind of surprises me. I double checked the report and everything because King isn't a volume market. It's not like there's thousands of homes selling, every quarter. So you're not going to be having a lot of King buyers. And so I'm thinking what's happening here is people are browsing, whether they're dreaming of homes with bigger lots, quiet roads, bigger homes. Maybe they're looking at a different lifestyle than the downtown Toronto. And there's people thinking, hey, city's slowing down. Maybe it's my time to finally make a move. But this is what you can get for 1.3. These homes, they're typically sitting on the market, and they're in a really big fight right now. And so they've lost a lot of value. And so a lot of these homes, they're sitting on the market. And there's not going to be anything wrong with these homes. It's just that, the prices, they've gone down. We've got a walkout here, which is nice. Interesting. It looks like we've got a fireplace, electric fireplace that is not in the wall, right? So it's just sticking out. It's a bit interesting. Nice backyard. Little area here. Yeah. And so another one, but now we're going up in price. We're going to be looking at what $2 million gets you. Once again, they're probably not going to sell for this, but really nice property. I mean, the amount of storage here is just exceptional. You can watch the TV by the kitchen. Really, really good looking house. It's your office. We're going to go upstairs now. A second floor kind of lounge. Love those. Master's huge. Really nice closet features here. They've gone all out with the LEDs in the washroom. Once again, you've got a closet that is really well done. All right, we got a little bit of a basement movie theater attempt here. And then a gym, okay. I'm thinking we gotta have a better couch there eventually. Really nice outdoor area. You can put a nice cabana here, have a nice little spot there to sit during the summer. Nice property. And that is king. Now here's the most important thing to understand. Search activity does not mean price growth. It does not mean chance of bidding wars. It doesn't even mean that the buyers are serious in that area. Sometimes high search traffic just means people are just looking. They're just browsing. Sometimes it means people are comparing. And sometimes, like right now, it means buyers might be preparing for a move, but they're waiting for the right moment. So don't look at this list and think, oh, wow, these are the top investment markets, right? That's not what this shows. What it really just shows is what buyers are paying attention to. So, till next time, thank you for watching.